The Trojans are 9-5 in the Sun Belt, while the Warhawks are 1-13. Louisiana Tech hosts Jacksonville State. Jack State beat the Bulldogs twice last season. Tip-off is at 6:30. LRN.
KSYL.
Remember flip phones? Snapping one open in public made you feel like a boss. Well, Samsung just brought the flip phone back, and it's nothing like you remember. I'm Kim Komando for The Current. It's our 5-star rated free daily newsletter read by almost 1 million folks like you. Sign up for free at getkim.com. We pay so much attention to Apple that it's easy to miss something great from Samsung. The Samsung Galaxy Z Flip 7, a 6.9-inch screen that folds right across the center. Snap it shut, and is small enough to slip into your pocket. Open it up, full-size phone. It's one of Samsung's new flagship foldables alongside the Galaxy Fold 7. It'll cost you $900 to $1,100, depending on storage. It's not cheap, but snapping that thing shut after hanging up on a spam call, oh, that's priceless. Every day, I'm giving away a $250 Amazon gift card to someone who gets my free newsletter. You could win. Enter now at winfromkim.com. Hi there, I'm Kim Komando. Tech isn't just a part of our lives anymore. It runs our lives. From the phone in your pocket to your bank account, your job, your car, your kids, even your home security. Everything's all connected. And the truth is, most people are just trying to keep up. That's why I created The Current. It's my free daily newsletter that gives you the most important tech stories, the ones that actually matter, delivered in plain English with no fluff and no politics. I cover AI, crypto, scams to avoid, gadgets worth knowing about, and how to protect your privacy in a digital world that just doesn't slow down. Almost 1 million smart people already get it, and it's rated 5 out of 5 stars on Google and Trustpilot. Every American needs to understand how tech is shaping their lives, and The Current helps you do just that every single morning. Sign up right now at getkim.com. My newsletter 100% free. That's getkim.com, and I'll see you in your inbox tomorrow.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Well, good morning. Welcome to Talkback on Wednesday. I just unplugged my headphones. The cord got wrapped around my foot, and I pulled my foot, and all of a sudden I was gone. I thought my mic cut out, but no, it was my headphones unplugged. It is Wednesday morning, the 18th day of the second month, February 18th, and Nathan Martin sitting in for Al Quartermont this week, who is over in wherever the National Religious Broadcasters.
Nashville, Tennessee.
Is it always there?
Most of the time, yeah.
Well, cool. Well, he's up there, but he's following us and sending me tips and stuff. I'm hoping to have a little clip that he sent me that he suggested that I look at. So we'll see if we have time for that this morning. But most of all today, we want to welcome you in on the BOM talk line. 318-442-8255 is the number. We had some great conversations with you yesterday. I appreciated all the calls, very much so. Even Matt Ritchie commented to me afterwards. That was kind of, a higher number of calls for his show as well, so thank you for that. At 7:30, we'll have Jeff Powell, Rapides Parish Superintendent. Not sure if he's coming in or calling in. Haven't heard one way or the other, but he's on the calendar, and I'm sure he'll remember that. Look forward to hearing from him. There's an 8 o'clock calendar event, but it doesn't say what it is, so it just says rotation. So not sure if we have a guest coming in at 8 o'clock or not. But if not, hey, guys, it'll be your time today to give us a call, 318-442-8255. Would love to hear from you. And on the BOM talk line there, appreciate their sponsorship of the show. So interesting stories that you've been working on, Stephen, the profiles of all the candidates for Pineville City Council and Pineville Mayor. You've been talking to just about everybody. And have you enjoyed that process, getting to know those candidates?
Yeah, that's great. I think it's an important service. There's a lot of times you don't even know who's on the ballot for the local races and what they're all about. So we're trying to give everyone the opportunity to hear about their platform, their background, things they'd like to accomplish, and give them an opportunity to get their voice out. Because a lot of the times in the broadcast realm, you're cut off to about 30 seconds for the most part as a candidate.
Yeah.
And here, we can go forever. We had one for 9 minutes yesterday. So
Was that how long the finished product was?
Dan Udy's interview was 9 minutes. He's running for Pineville City Council District 1, so he had a number of things that he talked about and things that he's concerned about in his district in the city. We also had Samantha Stanley, who's running for District 5, your old seat, or your current seat.
Right.
She's running against Mark Mertens and Tom Murphy for that one. So she has a number of things she talked about as well. You can find all those interviews at Stephen Maxwell TV on Facebook, and if you're a TikToker, at Sinlaw Broadcasting, or Instagram Sinlaw Broadcasting.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, I enjoyed it. I've watched everything you've put out. I'm getting to know, because some of the people I had never met before, so it's really given me an opportunity to get to know them. I did notice that the Dan Udy one was longer than the others were, but he just had like a lot of things to say, and I enjoyed hearing his perspective on things. And looking forward to a couple more. Of course, I think you've already done Mark Mertens in District 5, and so then Tom Murphy will be some of the last. I mean, that's where I've got to make a decision on who I'm going to vote for. Don't plan on making any kind of public statements about it. I feel like it'd be best for the public for me to be silent. You know, I'm just going to be a voter in this one. Same with the mayor. I'm looking forward to those. I think, have you done? Yeah, you've already done Rusty and Chris.
All of them, yeah.
I missed.
I did Joe's first.
Okay, well, that's why maybe I've already, I've slept once or twice since.
Day one of qualifying.
Day one,
So,
okay, there you go. Well, very good.
Three people in that race, and we have Hugh Hall, who is running for District
3.
He'll be on today, and I think we'll be able to get Tom Murphy on soon. And Peter Ford, we had him scheduled, but he had something come up, so we're trying to get that rescheduled.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I know both. Well, the good news is, good for me, as I know many of the candidates from whether they've been longtime attendees at council meeting races or involved in, some of them are former city employees. And so I know those folks in this, but it's still good to really hear these perspectives they give. And then the ones that I don't know, I'm absolutely enjoying getting to know them. Obviously, I love the city and I want to see it do well. And I hope, I know that our citizens will make good choices.
We have Randy O'Neill Thursday, Celeste Mobley Thursday, and John Marquez Friday. So hopefully we'll have 99% of the candidates done this week, and then I'm going to try and move on to Avoyelles Parish next week. So we have the Marksville City Council races, Bunkie Alderman races, Bunkie Mayor. So we're trying to get all those
You already
settled
did
down.
Marksville Mayor, didn't you?
We did 2 of the 3 Marksville candidates. One of them hasn't responded to me yet. I'll try again. And over in Bunkie, we have 2 candidates there for mayor, the incumbent Brenda Sampson and the challenger Michelle Reynolds. So lots of races going on, local races. I think those are the ones we should all be invested in, more than some of the federal stuff we talk about all the time, but, at least give an opportunity for them to get the word out and know exactly what you're voting for.
Very good, yeah. So I got confirmation that Jeff Powell will be with us in studio, so I look forward to him making his way up here shortly. By the way, I don't want to go any further without acknowledging today, the importance of today for many of our listeners, the fact that today is Ash Wednesday, which is the start of Lent. Lent, as you know, I'm sure you know very well, it's that 40-day season leading up to Easter. And when you see folks today, perhaps you'll see a black smudge on their forehead, perhaps on the sign of the cross. That is the symbol of repentance, recognizing death. And so it's just a reminder today, many folks, and it's not just Catholic. I mean, Catholic is the largest part, but some Protestant, particularly those of the more traditional, age-old, like Episcopalian, that type of Protestant, they also will often practice ashes. And so don't wipe them off somebody's face if you see them. You don't have to, they know it's there. They did it on purpose. And so I want to give respect to that. And that's a season where there'll be lots of fish fries on Fridays, because traditionally Catholics give up meat on Fridays. And certainly a time of good appreciation and respect for the upcoming celebration of the resurrection of Jesus Christ. Of course, prior to that, the recognition and acknowledgement of the death and burial. So today will be that day. You'll see those recognitions. And Mardi Gras is over. No more king cake. Stephen, are you sad about no more king cake?
Yeah, I'm pretty upset. I was trying to get one yesterday and couldn't find it. Maybe there'll be some today
Some
that
leftovers?
are still getting made. Who knows?
I remember Aaron Atwood, seemed like he said that there would be, but they make theirs fresh every day.
He says he cuts them off
Oh, he
today.
does? Oh, he does.
I think so.
Okay.
You know, I don't want to speak for him, but I'm pretty sure he said that when he came on. So.
Hey, Aaron, remind us. Give us a shout out and remind us of.
I did get Atwood's last week. I had my last one. Because my family likes the Atwood's cream cheese, so they were coming over, bought them one, and had a good old time.
You know,
I ate half of it.
My confession is I have not had a slice of king cake this year. I didn't. I know that's shocking to you, but
I thought you were here when he brought some.
But
you
I
didn't eat it.
No,
Okay.
I was fasting. So I did my fast prior to Lent. I need all the help I can get. So, yeah, so I missed out on most of that. I got to enjoy it vicariously through watching others, and they are delicious. But
How do you fast? How long?
that particular one I did 21 days, and I did a liquid fast. So it was.
You just drank liquids the whole time?
Well, for 14 days I did liquids, and the last week I did more what's called a Daniel fast, which is no meat but doing vegetables and fruit. And so that was just something that I chose to do. I should have even brought it up because
I was just curious.
Yeah, but that was something I typically at the beginning of every year try to do and seek the Lord and prepare myself for the year. So, yeah, that was what was going on. Hey, we got a phone call. Let's go to the phone line real quick. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Yeah, yesterday I called about a good experience with waste management. And immediately after I called, the guy called in and was complaining about problems with him and how happy he was with the independent trash hauler. And everybody's experiences are different.
Certainly.
My experiences with waste management way out in the middle of nowhere near Coteau Lake has been, as far as I'm concerned, excellent. And some of my neighbors go with one of these local independents, and it's not unusual for them to go 2 weeks before they get their trash picked up when there's some sort of a problem with the local trash hauler. And I would point out that recently people were complaining about trash, especially along, I guess, a freeway coming in from Pineville. And it turned out most often it had something to do with independent trash haulers. And if you notice, they don't do a very good job, at least the ones that come around where I live, on keeping their tops covered. So everything's relative.
Oh, absolutely.
I'm sorry that guy had a bad time with waste management. But the difference in price isn't all that much.
Yeah. Well, look, I appreciate that perspective. I think that's one of the beauties of understanding ratings. Even if you go on Amazon, you'll never find a 5.0 unless there's only one review, and the first review was 5 points, 5 stars. But generally, you're going to find, and when I'm searching, I'm trying to find 4 stars and better. Sometimes I'll look at the upper 3s because I recognize everyone has a unique experience, and there are anomalies and one-offs. And so, the question that people have to ask themselves is your experience the anomaly, or is his experience the anomaly? And the more people you talk to, the more you'll come to a resolution. For example, Waste Connections is very successful. They have a lot of clients. How did they get that way? Another example of that would be, what's that national builder that built the Old Town subdivision in Alexandria? And then there's been lots of
D.R. Horton.
D.R. Horton, right? So then anytime their name comes up, you'll get 4 or 5 phone calls with horror stories. But they're the #1 builder in America. They're the largest builder. So somehow, they've been successful in spite of the anomalies. And it may simply be that the bad examples get raised to the top, and people who have good experiences just don't really get online and talk about them. So I was appreciative of you calling in and sharing that experience because it kind of helps give greater perspective.
Yeah, well, talking about experiences, years and years ago, I had 2 Chevrolet products in a row. And I'll never, ever consider buying another Chevrolet product.
Because it was 2 in a row, right? That convinced you, right? The one might have been an anomaly, but 2 in a row was a bit much.
Yeah, but hey, there's plenty of Chevrolets driving around, so I guess
Absolutely.
the people are happy.
Absolutely.
Well,
Always appreciate
day.
hearing from you. Thank you, sir. You have a great day as well. We're going to take our bottom of the hour break. When we come back, we'll be joined by the man, the myth, and a legend in my own mind, Jeff Powell, Superintendent, Rapides Parish School Board, after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway has slashed its stake in Amazon by more than 75% in the fourth quarter. It did, though, acquire 5.1 million shares of the New York Times, a stake worth $352 million. Buffett stepped down as chief executive officer last year. Activist investor Elliott Investment Management has built a stake of more than 10% in Norwegian Cruise Line Holdings, citing concerns about management and spending. The stake disclosure follows Norwegian's announcement last week that its CEO was stepping down immediately and being replaced by a former Subway Restaurants CEO. The cruise industry has benefited from rising demand as travelers opt for lower-priced vacation options. Mark Zuckerberg will testify today in a social media trial that questions whether Meta's platforms deliberately addict and harm children. Meta and Google's YouTube are the 2 remaining defendants in the case, which TikTok and Snapchat have already settled. Matt Piper, Bloomberg Radio.
The Rapides Parish Library invites you to a celebration you don't want to miss. The 3rd annual Central Louisiana African American Culture and Heritage Center event. Come honor local heroes, experience powerful stories, and celebrate African American culture and history in Cenla. Join us Saturday, February 21st at 11 a.m. at the Martin Luther King Jr. branch on Broadway Avenue in Alexandria. Get more details at rpl.org.
Well, good morning. We'll start out with cloudy skies on our Wednesday, but we'll see things gradually become mostly sunny. 78 for the afternoon high. Going to be a windy day. Winds out of the southwest, though gust is high as 20. Tonight, mostly cloudy, down to 62 for the overnight low. And then for Thursday, it looks like another mostly cloudy day. 81 for the afternoon high and another very windy day. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talkback.
Well, good morning. Welcome back to Talkback. And we are delighted to be joined by Jeff Powell, Rapides Parish Superintendent. And good morning, Mr. Powell. How are you?
I'm great, Nathan. Good morning, Stephen. Good
morning.
to see you guys this morning. Glad to be in studio with you, not in the car.
You travel a lot. I know you have to be in different places at different times, attending mandatory conferences or whatnot, but thank you for making the time to come in. How was the walk up the stairs on that repaired ankle?
Hey, it's great. I love it. I have an appointment this week, and I'm hoping, praying that the doctor's going to let me start transitioning to a regular shoe, so we shall see.
Yeah. So you were busy as a one-legged man? No, wait, never mind.
Yeah. However it goes.
However that phrase goes. Well, so let's talk about, I don't have any notes in front of me, so this is really your opportunity to talk about things. I know you guys have to plan. You have to look forward. So graduation is in some people's minds, end of the year, wrap up. You're probably thinking about even maintenance in the summertime. But what's really top of mind for you as the superintendent right now?
Yeah, we're actually in 26, 27 already for us. So
that's crazy.
The biggest thing probably on the radar for everybody right now is we are in enrollment season right now. So whether your child is getting ready to go to high school and you want to take advantage of open enrollment here in Rapides Parish, one of the only districts in the state of Louisiana that offer the opportunity for students to go to whatever high school they would like to. We have that. Plus, we have our magnet applications open. So whether it's the academic and performing arts magnet at Bolton or the various magnet programs we have at the high schools, also our Montessori programs at Peabody and Rosenthal. We have tons of options for our students here in Rapides Parish, and very proud of that. And of course, there's still federal choice options as well as hardships. We do remind folks that if they're attending, particularly an elementary school, on a hardship for whatever reason, that they do have to apply for that annually to make sure that the hardship is still in place. But all of that is on our website at rpsb.us/enrollment. So they can get information about all of the different magnet opportunities, open enrollment. All those different applications are available for them to complete there. So exciting time of the year for us.
Well, that is exciting. I have seen the open enrollment process in person. I appreciate the way it's handled. I know there's some pushback on sports because it puts us on the whole select, non-select, but that's probably not a discussion for today's show.
Appreciate you bringing that up, Nathan. Not controversial at all.
So 4-day school weeks.
Yeah, here you go, Stephen. Let's just go ahead and throw it all out there. I saw the Advocate did a big write-up on that this weekend. It was sent to me more than once.
How about no homework? Right?
Hey, let's just put it all out there.
We showed up with a big stick this morning. Let's stir it all up.
Evidently, y'all didn't get what was sent to Al. We'll make sure that y'all get the actual talking point.
Well, I just got a text from him that said, I forwarded you the notes from Jeff, but I haven't gotten the email yet, so I'm not sure what email address he sent it to. I have to log into. I've got about 6 or 8, so I got to log into another one.
The LHSAA situation is pretty interesting. I'm on the same group email that goes out to all of the principals in the LHSAA membership, and it does seem like they are grappling pretty heavily with the idea of allowing some form of transfer policy. I know in having conversations specifically with Mr. Bonine and others, there's, the issue of going as far as places like Florida, where students are allowed to basically transfer as often as they want, even mid-year, and play football at one school and basketball at another and run track and baseball at another, is a little bit, I think absurd for most people to consider. But I know they're looking at things like a one-time transfer rule. I know the legislators have had a little bit of a governing body talking to some hearings, talking to the LHSAA about that. I think where the state of Louisiana is you've got this big push for parent choice on where children can go to school. Mm-hmm. And then when the athletic side appears to have barriers to parents choosing, if your child just happens to be an athlete and they want to go to another school, whether it's for academic or athletic purposes whatsoever, you get the little what some would consider a punishment or a ding on the athletic side. But it's one of those things. I talk to people on many different sides of that argument. I'm pro parent choice on where they want to send their child to school, and I think we should have opportunities for them to do that. I do understand protecting the integrity of high school athletics as well. So it's a complicated matter.
Thanks a lot, Nathan.
Yeah, you're welcome. Well, let's talk about it. Let's go back to enrollment, because what I understand about that, I think people, especially if you've never had a child in the system, you need to know how soon it comes up, because a lot of people might think, okay, well, in July or early part of August, I'll contact the school, but really, they need some lead time to prepare teachers and classrooms and all that stuff. So
yeah, for sure. We have, obviously people are enrolling in schools and unenrolling in schools, all year round. But when it comes to prepping for the 26-27 school year, the upcoming school year, we actually start our staffing meetings with principals next week. So we're going to be allocating staff, making tough decisions so that principals can have conversations with current employees, whether we're going to be opening new positions, right? You want to get all that staffed well before the summer starts, because there's a lot of professional development. There's a lot of things that happen during the summertime that you want to make sure that you have your staff, you have everything in place. And for sure, we encourage everybody to, look, even if you don't have young children yourself currently, spread the word, put it in your church bulletin, do whatever you can, share it on Facebook.
You looked at me when you said that.
Yeah, right. But, this is one of those things where whether your child's, ready for pre-K or whether they're part of the early child care network, which you've seen some amazing stuff come out of those announcements over the last couple of weeks, it's extremely important for families to take advantage of their free and appropriate public education that is available to them.
They had a big news conference, Rapids Early Childhood Network, if I got that right, a couple of days ago. They're doing fantastic stuff. They had the Rapids Foundation there and other groups. Tell us about that and what parents should know with young children.
Well, the most important thing from that particular announcement last week is we continue year over year to see the results of the hard work of the Rapids Early Child Care Network, that just happens to be led by our Director of Early Childhood Learning, Ms. Cindy Rushing. But what's happened over the last several years is we've seen a tremendous increase in the number of sites in our local community that are getting the highest ratings, which means that our local childcare, so the childcare network is not just the pre-K classes that are in our school. This is birth to 3 and pre-K on up in private childcare centers. And through we help in collaboration and making sure that some resource allocation, things like that are there, but those are privately run institutions. But because of the level of collaboration, the amount of leadership that's being provided, we're seeing tremendous results. We are literally leading the state in the number of children who are coming to kindergarten with, being ready to start learning. But it's because of the work that these folks are doing. Over the last couple of years, you've heard us talk a lot about our partnership with the Rapides Foundation and the Rotary Club in helping create opportunities for some of our most financially disadvantaged families to be able to take advantage of. In fact, with the Rapides Foundation, I mean, we don't talk enough about the impact that they have in our community. And I've told Joe Rozier, Ashley Stewart, Margaret Taylor, those folks that we're going to do a better job of really broadcasting the impact they did. They did a matching grant for local revenues that were raised to increase the number of available seats for our most needy families. And for this will be the 3rd year in a row, they've helped us raise funds to allocate about 350 scholarships for each year for children to attend a high-quality child care center, which means we just have more and more children being able to come into school and kindergarten ready to start reading.
That's amazing. And the ladies that are not the ladies, all the people involved. I was thinking of Cindy Rushing specifically, and Cindy Sespeave, I think, has been a part of helping coordinate that. But it blows my mind what they've been able to accomplish. And those residuals go all the way through the 12 years.
Yeah, I try to tell some people that as they're thinking about this, Patrick Moore, who is with Rotary Club, who's been extremely instrumental in helping us in all of this work as well. He actually does investment meetings with the industry leaders and the community leaders who are investing in this early child care network. And while we are seeing some virtually immediate impact with the number of students that are entering kindergarten ready to learn, you also cannot disconnect these activities from the improvements that we're making parish-wide in terms of overall student achievement. Some of these young people are just now kind of getting into 2nd and 3rd grade, but now that the state is looking at DIBELS and literacy and numeracy for those students, we're already seeing that impact. But the reality is when these young people get to 4th grade and 8th grade and 12th grade, over the next 8 to 10 years, you're going to see an even larger impact with some of those measures that most of us are a little bit more familiar with when you talk about ACT and state testing.
So what is Head Start? How does that play into it? What are these different programs that these younger kids have in Rapides Parish?
Yeah, so Head Start is a kind of a third situation. You have the private daycares, you have our pre-K centers that are in our schools, and then you have Head Start. Head Start obviously is the federally funded program. We once were the grantee, but that is back to another grantee now. And so all of these programs are specifically designed to make sure that when young people come to kindergarten, they are ready to learn. And so, and particularly Head Start is one of those income-based programs as well. So, parents that are doing their best to try to get a leg up, going back to school, working, doing all these things. These programs are set aside to help make sure that parents have those opportunities.
I've got to take a break. I went long on this segment. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about literacy, but also an exciting career opportunity that you guys have announced. More with Jeff Powell right after this.
KSYL.
Need office supplies, janitorial supplies, or office furniture, either new or pre-owned? Then look no further than DTW Office Supply, with wholesale prices on a large selection of top quality products, all with the personalized hometown service that you deserve. We're proud to serve the entire state of Louisiana with daily deliveries right to your door. Visit us today at 1219 MacArthur Drive or online at dtwofficesupply.com. That's DTW Office Supply, your trusted partner for all of your office needs. Quality, value, service.
A message from Israel Air Conditioning and Heating.
Yeah, my mama, she told me to pick up and call Israel Air.
She told me Israel Air. She told me.
She said 'cause you know we're all about your comfort. Got your comfort, no troubles. Call 442-6657. That's 442-6657. We're all about your comfort. Got your comfort.
Crime is already skyrocketing in 2026. Now, you may already own a firearm, but before you face the financial, the legal, the emotional weight of pulling that trigger, there is new technology, a smarter option. It's non-lethal. BYRNA.com. Berta makes less lethal launchers. It fires tear gas, pepper spray, kinetic rounds. It is designed to stop an attacker for up to 40 minutes. That gives you time to escape. That gives you time to get help without deadly consequences. Now, remember, it fires at 400 feet per second, and it has serious stopping power, enough to shut down a threat very fast without the legal, moral complexity of using lethal force. And every single launcher hand-assembled in beautiful Fort Wayne, Indiana. Legal in all 50 states, no background check, and they'll ship it straight to your door. Just go to BYRNA.com today and find the right launcher for you and your family. That's BYRNA.com.
Now back to Talk Back. 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
Welcome back. Mardi Gras is over, but Mardi Gras was participated in by some activities in Rapides Parish involving literacy, right?
Yeah, we always love being able to showcase the literacy bus, you know, whether it's parades, whether it's pop-up literacy events throughout the community and our feeder systems and such. But it's really, really cool, really, really exciting when we go through the parades and these young people. Our goal is to hand out books in the parades, and it gets expensive, you know, when you're handing out books. But when you see young people and their parents and their grandparents, you know, pleading for books, you know, you say, throw me something, Mr. Rice. They're really pleading for the books, and it's such a cool moment. You know, when you talk about trying to impact a culture around the things that matter the most, we've talked extensively on this show and other places about the importance of literacy. And, you know, what we're trying to do through our parade participation with the literacy bus is to help parents build that at-home library, because particularly, you know, in families that are low income, you know, things like that, it's hard to invest in books, and books can be expensive. You know, every now and then you get to go to the library and they have a 25-cent or 50-cent discard table, so you can build some stuff through there. But we literally hand out thousands of books through the parade season, starting, you know, at Thanksgiving for the Christmas parades all the way through Mardi Gras. So it's an exciting time. We have great teams of folks that volunteer. They completely volunteer to come serve in these roles. Many of them also buy their own candy and beads and stuff like that to throw in addition to the books. But it's an exciting time.
And you guys encourage people to enroll in the Dolly Parton Imagination Library.
Absolutely. Once again, the Rapides Foundation, the Orchard Foundation helps sponsor that. So if your child, if you have not signed up for Dolly Parton's Imagine Library, you can go to imaginelibrary.com and see how to sign up for that. But essentially from birth through 5 or 6 years old, it's a book, I believe, every month for those children.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my daughter, who lives in Mississippi, to move back if I can get the right job offer for her from the Rapides Parish School Board system. And I need a local church to offer her husband a job because he's a pastor over there. But
shouldn't be hard.
We got a local pastor here and a local superintendent.
Anybody that wants to come be a teacher, we can find a job for you.
But I said that because her kids call Dolly Parton Aunt Dolly, because every month they get books from Aunt Dolly because she has 2 kids under 5. So that's awesome. You guys have a brand new position, well, not brand new, created, but an opening that is a wonderful career opportunity for somebody with some skill sets that are unique to this supervisor of facilities maintenance and improvements. Tell us about that.
It actually is a brand new position.
Oh, it is?
The board voted last month to create this position, or earlier this month to create this new position. You know, I talk all the time, Nathan, we always have an academic strategic plan, and obviously that's the world that we live in most. But when you have $1 billion worth of assets, and I did use a B there, the Rapides Parish Public School System has $1 billion worth of assets when you look at our buildings and equipment. That requires a strategic plan as well. And so what the board agreed to a couple weeks ago is to create a position where we're kind of going back to separating a couple of positions that have kind of piled up. And you know, when you have $167 million worth of bonds, plus 42 schools, plus about 8 to 10 other buildings that, whether school board office, special education buildings, and such like that, one of the things that we've done a really good job of trying to maintain these buildings, but there's not been a heavy emphasis on can we make sure that we're making improvements in these areas. And so for those that follow our budget can see on our monthly reports, we have about $27 million every year that are collected for maintenance of facilities, parish-wide maintenance, these types of things. And so what we want to do is make sure we're getting a strong return on investment for the facilities as much as we talk about academic return on investment in the instructional side. So this position is a newly created position that will focus very heavily on building a school improvement plan, facilities improvement plan for every site and every location. We're aligning some of the positions within the facilities department to help support that work. And even, you know, in the future, what we talked about with the board, kind of phasing in, looking at the role of our head custodians, potentially rewriting a job description there, increasing the pay there to have kind of a jack of all trades, being like a property manager at each one of our schools, as well as looking at some of our skilled labor force and making sure that we're offering competitive salaries for those particular positions, plumbers, electricians, welders, HVAC technicians. You know, some people don't realize that, you know, we are a city. I mean, the school board is a city. We have pretty much any position that you could imagine. We have carpenters, welders, electricians, you know, all those things.
Who would you say would be a good fit for that? Somebody who's got not just construction experience, but maybe some project management experience?
Yeah, so obviously different types of construction project management. The other thing that makes this unique is it is a government job, so everything we do has to follow state law in terms of public bid or quoting and things like that. And then our board policies are a little bit more restrictive than even the state law, just because they want to make sure that we have adequate controls over things. So the absolute perfect fit is going to have some experience in all of those areas. That is a very wide variety of skills, but I'm very pleased that we've had a good many applicants. You know, always when you have a position like this that's newly created, one of the first goals is to make sure you have a great pool of candidates, right? Of course. And so we're seeing, I'm on the email list where I get the notification every time somebody applies for it. So I do feel like we are accomplishing that. Now it's getting these folks in and having some interviews and kind of seeing what types of experiences people bring to the table and trying to find somebody that we know is going to have the type of work ethic along with the experience, knowledge, wisdom, experience to be great at this particular position. And it pays really well. So
you're still open for applications?
Yeah, I think it's open for another week or so, possibly.
rpsb.us/careers.
Yep, and we've shared it as we don't share all individual openings on Facebook, but we've shared this one. It's a very, very important position to fill.
Very important. Very good. Hey, we got to take our final break. We come back, we'll talk about a U.S. congressman who visited some schools when we come back.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter. At the clinics, your health is our priority. Whether it's a routine checkup or ongoing care, we are here for you. Dr. Noah Miller, our newest family medicine physician, along with 5 other dedicated family physicians, are now accepting new patients. Schedule your appointment today. And remember, if you're ever admitted to the hospital, our doctors will see you there too. Most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The Clinics, 1587 North Bolton, 445-9823, online at theclinics.us.
I start every workday morning off the same way. I stop in and pick up breakfast at Wilmore's Mobile and Sub Express. It's convenient, quick, and oh so good. Croissants, biscuits, breakfast subs, and their hot coffee is the perfect pick-me-up. They always ask me why I'm in such a good mood when I get to work. Improve your mood. Stop by Wilmore's any weekday morning from 6 till 9 and get your day started right. That's Wilmore's Mobile and Sub Express right there on the corner of North MacArthur Drive and Bayou Rapides Road.
Attention all real estate agents, property owners, and lenders. When you or a client needs a real estate attorney, call the professionals at Thompson Law Firm. Whether the legal matter is basic or complex, the Thompson Law Firm can accurately guide you or your client to a successful outcome. That's why numerous industry professionals have trusted the Thompson Law Firm for years. They also handle estate planning, successions, and business law. Call them at 473-0052. I am a paid non-client attorney spokesperson.
It's Talkback 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL.
Final segment of the first hour. Jeff Powell, Superintendent of Rapides Parish Schools, in the studio with us today. And y'all had something that doesn't happen very often. You had a U.S. Congressman stop by.
Yeah, Congressman Fields is really kind of making a very special, intentional attempt to get into the schools, share about the civic duties and responsibilities of the work that he does. Was able to come into a handful of our schools, AMMS, Bolton Academy, Peabody, last week or a week and a half ago. And, you know, the students really enjoyed it. I think as much as we can, those that are involved in civic engagement, public service, you know, our young people want to hear from them, you know, and understand the processes a little bit better.
Well, kudos to him for coming. That doesn't happen every day. Hey, we have a phone call. Jeff, let's go to the line and say good morning. You're on Talkback with Jeff Powell.
Good morning.
Hello there.
Change the subject for just 1 second.
Sure.
You were looking for king cakes?
We were curious if there are any to be found after Mardi Gras.
The Chevron station at the corner of Edgewood and Donahue Ferry.
Okay.
They did have Gambino king cakes.
Very good. Well, I appreciate that. I saw it on their sign, but I didn't know if they would still have them in store or not.
You can give them a call. That's all I can tell you, brother.
All right. Hey, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Appreciate that call. 318-442-8255 to be on Talk Line. Jeff, did you have any king cake this year?
I did, and I probably had too much. And my wife, God bless her, she tries so hard to keep us eating healthy, and I am the absolute worst person for as far as accountability partners go when it comes to that. So,
but does she like street tacos?
You know, she's not as big on street tacos as I am. And Nathan knows very well that Jeff Powell loves him some real authentic street tacos, and I'm willing to go anywhere to get them.
I saw a new taqueria yesterday in Alexandria I'd never seen before. I'll tell you off air. Well, I'll tell everybody. It was kind of behind, I don't know what the name of that street is. There's a used car lot there on MacArthur Drive where it starts to curve over 28. And down the side street there was a wagon that just said taqueria. I'm like, and all the words were in Spanish. I'm like, that's got to be good.
That's got to be
everything on the thing is in Spanish. It's got to be good. So, all right. Well, Jeff, thank you so much. You monthly come in. You make yourself accessible to people. Appreciate that. A lot of folks don't realize. I've heard you say that the Rapides Parish School Board system is the largest employer in the parish.
Absolutely.
And we forget that sometimes. Yeah. And you talked about a while ago, like you're a small city because you have plumbers and electricians and infrastructure, all the stuff that it takes to keep them running. So as the parish succeeds, the school board will succeed and grow, right? And
that's right.
Continue to be the largest employer.
We hope so.
All right, Jeff Powell, thank you once again for coming in today, and we'll reach out to look forward to having him back next month. Coming up next hour is Open Line Wednesday. Give us a call on the BOM Talk Line, 318-442-8255. See you then.
You've been listening to Talkback. The opinions expressed were those of the hosts and callers, and not necessarily those of Cenla Broadcasting.
AM 970, FM 104.9, KSYL, and KRRV 100.3, HD3, Alexandria.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Pfizer.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A treacherous search continues this hour for 9 backcountry skiers missing in the mountainous wilderness northwest of Lake Tahoe. 6 others from their group were rescued after an avalanche. Correspondent Matt Gutman.
The Nevada County Sheriff's Office says they were part of a group of 15 skiers and guides who were on a trip in the Castle Peak area near Lake Tahoe. It's known for its deep snow, rugged terrain, has no trails, and no ski patrol.
Captain Russell Green with the Nevada County Sheriff's Office.
It took us several hours to even get, equipment to the scene and get resources deployed.
Wildfires have broken out from Colorado to Texas and Oklahoma. CBS's Jason Allen is in Woodward.
Dramatic video shows rare fire natives racing along the side of a road northwest of Oklahoma City, sending columns of flames spinning through the air. The powerful wind spreading the flames so fast, firefighters could not keep up.
That fire's growing.
That wildfire scorching at least 2,000 acres, forcing families there to evacuate their homes.
A New York City hospital has shut down its program for treating transgender kids.
NYU Langone Health cited the current regulatory environment for ending the program. The Trump administration has proposed cutting off funding to any hospital that provides gender transition surgery, hormone therapy, or puberty blockers for adolescents. Several states have sought a restraining order. Washington State Attorney General Nick Brown.
It really is disappointing that we continually have to come to court to protect the people from their own president.
NYU Langone says its pediatric mental health care programs will continue. Michael Wallace, CBS News, New York.
Meta's Mark Zuckerberg expected to face anguished parents and for the first time a jury when he testifies at a social media addiction trial today. CBS's Emily Pandis from Los Angeles.
We're expecting that Zuckerberg's team will take the defense of, this person already had underlying mental health issues. This isn't about the apps. I'm sure that Mr. Zuckerberg will point out that Meta does a lot in terms of parental controls and teen accounts and things like that to help keep people safe.
The case was brought by a 20-year-old whose mother claims she became compulsively addicted after she started using YouTube at the age of 6 and Instagram at age 9. An 8-year Olympic medal drought is over for American Michaela Schifrin. With almost 2 flawless runs, the most decorated skier in the sport's history has just taken gold in the women's alpine slalom. She beat Switzerland's Camille Rast by 1.5 seconds in Cortina. Anna Sven Larsson of Sweden came in third. Dow futures are up 77. This is CBS News.
You still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsor.
Jen, I didn't know you shopped here.
Hey, I'm hunting for something fresh for spring.
Oh, girl, skip them all. Jewelry Television has the best spring looks right now.
JTV, way ahead of you. Just hit up JTV.com yesterday. Scored the cutest clover earrings, 2 tennis bracelets, and this gorgeous pearl ring.
Right now, new customers get $20 off any purchase of $99 or more at JTV.com.
Oh, and gold hoops and this turquoise bracelet.
Just a couple things, huh?
Maybe more than a couple.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
I'm Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group. Did you buy a timeshare because they told you it was a great investment? That's a lie. Most timeshares can be bought online for $1. To find out what your timeshare is worth and to cancel it, call us today and we'll send you our timeshare exit kit free with all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley for your free exit info guide. 800-959-3388. That's 800-959-3388.
The Prince of Wales has opened up about taking time to understand his emotions.
Taking part in a BBC panel discussion on men's mental health, Prince William shared his own experience.
I take a long time trying to understand my emotions and why I feel like I do. And I think that's a really important process to just do every now and again, to check in with yourself and work out why you're feeling like you do.
Seeing a therapist for mental health issues should become as normalized as seeing your doctor for physical ills, he said, adding that men need to get more comfortable talking with each other about their own mental and emotional challenges. Vicki Barker, CBS News, London.
The Office of the First Lady's just announced the sleeveless white gown with a black geometric pattern Melania Trump wore to her husband's inaugural ball last year will be showcased in the First Ladies Gallery at the Smithsonian Museum of American History. Her office says Mrs. Trump will deliver remarks when it debuts there Friday morning. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Louisiana Radio Network, I'm Colleen Crane. Starting today, there are new restrictions for SNAP recipients. Louisiana Health Secretary Bruce Greenstein says the state received a waiver from federal officials that prevents SNAP recipients from using government assistance to purchase certain items.
Anything that is carbonated beverage with high fructose corn syrup or artificial sweeteners out, energy drinks out, and candy like gum, mints, traditional candy bars.
He hopes this change will result in SNAP recipients purchasing healthier foods. Some Louisiana schools are moving to 4-day work weeks. David Claxton, the executive director of the Louisiana Association of School Superintendents and Administrators, says 4-day schools will still have to adhere to the state law requiring 63,723 minutes of instruction time per school year.
Their days may be longer, less breaks, they may be on a different schedule, but they still have to get the same number of minutes that a school on a 5-day week gets.
LRN. Louisiana continues remembering a civil rights icon. Andre Champagne has more on the passing of Reverend Jesse Jackson.
6th District Congressman Cleo Fields remembers as a high school student hearing Reverend Jackson speak.
He gave a speech, I Am Somebody, and that's when I really got connected to him.
A few years later, Fields met Jackson personally, and they were friends from that point forward.
As long as I've been knowing him, he's been fighting for justice, equality, and civil rights for all.
New Orleans Congressman Troy Carter says Jackson was a champion for the poor and marginalized and an advocate for human dignity. I'm Andre Champagne.
Closer to home, Louisiana has lost legendary civil rights leader and former president of Xavier University, Dr. Norman C. Francis. He died early this morning at Oxnard Hospital. Francis led the only Catholic historically black university in the country for almost 50 years and is credited with transforming Xavier into a standout institution for medical education. Dr. Francis was 94 years old. LRN.
Tired of that same plumbing issue? Call Southern Air Heating and Cooling. Plumbing problems, large or small, Southern Air will fix them all. And you'll get service with no delay from certified technicians the very same day. Take advantage of our $99 drain clearing special and our 0% financing for those larger jobs. Call Southern Air Heating and Cooling at 318-777-5555 or visit us online at southernairnow.com. The official heating and cooling provider for LSU football.
Well, good morning. We'll start out with cloudy skies on our Wednesday, but we'll see things gradually become mostly sunny. 78 for the afternoon high. Going to be a windy day. Winds out of the southwest, though gust is high as 20. Tonight, mostly cloudy, down to 62 for the overnight low. And then for Thursday, looks like another mostly cloudy day. 81 for the afternoon high and another very windy day. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Gratian.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
It's Talkback, Central Louisiana's longest-running talk show. Whether it's the guests or the callers, Talkback is where Central Louisiana begins its conversation.
Well, good morning. Welcome to hour number 2 of Talkback. Nathan Martin sitting in for Al Quartermont this morning, but the faithful, the one who's always here, the constant, the Rock, Stephen Maxwell.
Yeah.
The Rock, do we call you that now? The Rock.
The Rock Maxwell.
Yeah, you know, radio folks used to have nicknames back in the day, and you'd come up with different names for yourself because you didn't want to use your real name, or maybe your real name was like...
Wasn't cool enough.
Yeah, you're a guy and your name was, you know, Stacy Jones, and like that doesn't sound...
Well, in broadcast, radio and TV, some people would change their names because it would be hard for anchors and others to say on the, you know.
Yeah.
If you're like Stephen Krasowski-man or something, it might be difficult to read that, so they just like Steve Jackson or something.
I do find it funny when people who, you know, like have Hispanic heritage, you know, they'll be like with a perfect English accent. They grew up here, and I'm reporting here for KSYL, Nathan Martin. Yeah, it's like, okay, why don't you just say your English name? But it's kind of funny. All right, phone lines are lit up. We like it when that happens. Good morning. You're on Talkback with Stephen and Nathan.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes, sir.
It's not just radio personalities. Athletes do it, too. You know, Joe Theismann's name was actually pronounced Theismann until he got big in college, and his coach said, listen, son, it's a Heisman Trophy, not a Heisman Trophy. So he changed his name. He changed the way he pronounced it to Joe Theismann, and he ended up winning the Heisman, and anyways, had a storied career. But I was actually calling about something that kind of correlates with Dr. Powell, but I didn't want to take any of his time. You know, February is Black History Month.
Mm-hmm.
And now, from the outset, I'm with Morgan Freeman on that. I disagree with having a month focus on one race. And if you haven't heard his interview with, I think, Mike Wallace, it's on the internet where he discusses why he's against Black History Month, but very circumspect view. But while we are focusing on it, one of the guys that I don't see getting near enough airtime is Booker T. Washington, and I wanted to sing his praises for a minute. You know, he was 6 years old when slavery ended, and he was a integral figure in elevating black people to becoming great, and in it, his greatness came through. And the reason I love learning history from biographies, because in his life, Booker T. Washington's life, I think we see an excellent blend of his faith motivating him to become all that he could be as a human individual with the time that God had given him. I like Frederick Douglass as well, but him more on a political level, because I don't see a lot of faith in his writings. But Booker T. Washington, and he's one of the most integral people ever in the history of America. I know this is kind of a caricature, but in the 40s and the 30s and 20s, they would laugh at black people about having really white teeth. Well, when Booker T. Washington was starting the Tuskegee Institute, ex-slaves were coming to him from all over the South, and he's, in his own writings, Up From Slavery is his book. You need to read that book. You need to learn that book. He talks about how he was shocked that a lot of people didn't brush their teeth. And if they got there, there might be one toothbrush among the whole family. So he, in a place that started out with nothing but a barn, that it leaked so much that you have to have a student hold an umbrella over him when it rained as he conducted his lessons. He talked about personal hygiene as being part of being a good caretaker of our person, as being a good steward of our body. And the effect was that, and when World War I started, the number one reason men were disqualified from service was bad teeth. Wow. But black people don't have that problem because of one man, Booker T. Washington. Now, his life is a model, and the reason I believe it's not showcased more is because there were two classes of people, not classes, but two schools of thought as slavery ended. One was headed up by W.E.B. Du Bois, who, to my knowledge, was never a slave, and the other was Booker T. Washington and Frederick Douglass. And they focused more on personal responsibility, whereas W.E.B. Du Bois was, and I'll use an ugly word now, he was a racist. He believed that black people were inferior and that there was a talented tenth. And before you think, well, he may have had to say that to get along in the white society then, he put forth a viewpoint that there was a talented 10% of black people, and the rest of them had to be led like sheep. Now, I don't believe that's true, because Booker T. Washington came from one of the classes that he thought was the non-talented 90. And but they kind of dueled back and forth. W.E.B. Du Bois was more political, and Frederick Douglass was gone by then. But Booker T. Washington said, you need to make your own way in life. And if you read his book, Up From Slavery, I can't cover it all here, he's had so many disadvantages, but he turned them into advantages because he accepted it as God allowed this to happen, so there must be something I can learn from it. So go out and buy that book, Up From Slavery, if you don't have it, and study the history of the Tuskegee Institute and marvel at what our system of government can allow an individual to become when he pushes himself to achieve. And you'll be glad that you did. Anyway, I'm sorry it took so long.
Thank you, David.
Y'all have a great day.
Appreciate you, sir. Always appreciate your insights. And while you were talking, I was Googling, and I found this neat quote from Booker T. in the book Up From Slavery. He said, "I gave special attention to teaching them the proper use of the toothbrush and the bath. In all my teaching, I have watched carefully the influence of the toothbrush, and I am convinced that there are few single agencies of civilization that are more far-reaching." That's fascinating. I had no idea about that. I have some dental hygienist friends and dentist friends who would appreciate that quote very much because they definitely believe in dental hygiene. And a lot of folks were taught those lessons young, and it's definitely something that needs to be taught. Appreciate that call. It's good to hear inspirational stories of people who not only bettered their life, but bettered the lives of others. So thanks for that insight. Had another caller on the line that dropped off, but then another caller has just called in. So let's go back to the phone line. Good morning. You want to talk back with Stephen and Nathan?
Hey, good morning, guys. I'm not sure if y'all listened to that to the news break at the beginning of the hour.
Actually, we didn't. We were talking with Jeff Steele. So tell us about it.
So they mentioned a lawsuit that a mom is bringing against Facebook or Meta or whoever that company is. And they stated that the child was addicted to Instagram at 9 years old. Mm-hmm. Started on YouTube at 6 and was addicted to Instagram at 9. Well, that's not a technology problem. That's a parental issue. Just from the surface of what this news story shared, that's a parental issue. You don't need to let your children stay on the tablet. There's no reason for your child to have an Instagram at 9 years old. Those are parental issues. My children aren't allowed on any social media until they're 18. That's a rule in our house. If they don't like it, I don't care. I'm not their friend. I'm their parent. The point of the role of the parent is to protect your children, not to give them entertainment. It's to protect them and keep them ready, or protect them and prepare them for a useful life, a productive life. Sticking them in front of a tablet for 8 hours a day does not do that.
You know, I certainly I agree with you now, but I'm not going to play devil's advocate because he don't need no help. But if I can give a little bit of pushback, I think, 15 years ago, we may not have known as much about this, and folks may have viewed it just as innocuous as letting your kid watch Saturday cartoons or watching PBS cartoons. In the early days, I don't think people realized. And the question in the lawsuit is, did they have algorithms specifically designed to create addictive behavior? And that's why Mark Zuckerberg is actually testifying today, I believe it's today, in that maybe the Kaylee case. It's a 20-year-old girl who her and her mother are bringing that suit. And their point is not, in spite of any parent's intentions, were the algorithms intentionally designed to create addictive, repetitive behaviors? And I would not be surprised if the jury did not say yes. That's what you said, right?
Of course they are.
What business would not try to create repetitive behaviors to come back?
Exactly. The whole point of the social media is to keep you scrolling. The doom scroll is intentional. They don't want you to get off of it. They want you to spend your time on it, so their advertisers get time in front of you. It's a business model. If you don't like it, be a productive parent or a responsible parent, and don't let your kids sit in front of it all day. Don't let your child have an account on Instagram at 9 years old. That just seems like a common sense move. But if you're going to sue somebody over their algorithm being addictive, what the heck do you expect them to do? Tell you as soon as you get on there in 5 minutes, they just shut it down? I mean, that's kind of stupid. That's a horrible business model.
Well, it's interesting that Instagram today, I say today, in the recent weeks, I've been seeing lots of ads on my Instagram feed saying, we've installed teenage controls and controls for children, and sign in to make sure your child is such a, well, my kids are 17 and 19, so I'm beyond that, but I'm getting those ads, right. And I think that shows you how seriously they're taking the responsibility now versus 15 years ago. The girl is 20 today, and I think she first got on, you said she was 6?
So yeah, 6 on YouTube.
14 years ago, yeah. But, here's my question. I wonder if 15, 20 years from now, there won't be lawsuits saying that AI, well, it wouldn't be 20 years from now. It might be 5 years from now, 3 years from now. But that, we today are all frequent users of, maybe not realizing the consequences thereof, and then later people are going to say, oh, if I had known, they did this intentionally. I think I totally agree with your premise that parents should be intentional, but I also recognize, boy, it sure is easy to plop a kid down in front of a TV. Easier to put them in front of a TV than to put a book in their hands, which is why I applaud those parents who are getting a hold of the Dolly Parton Imagination Library and who read to their kids every night. My daughter reads to her children. Both my daughters read to her children every night, and it made me so proud when my 8-year-old, she just turned 8, had gone to see a movie recently, and she said it wasn't near as good as the book. I was so happy to hear her say that.
I was never the reader, and actually all of my 3 daughters read better than I do. They're all better readers than I am, so I can't read to them. They could read to me. But the point is, you just have to be a parent. You have to have that foresight for your children because they are children. I mean, God gave us these kids to watch and protect over and to prepare them for life. That's part of it, not just sticking them in front of a tablet for entertainment. And look, we're guilty of using the tablet for entertainment as well. I've got a daughter with some medical issues. When you're sitting in a doctor's office for 4 and 5 hours at a time, man, the kid needs something to entertain themselves. But we do have to change it up. You got to bring coloring books. You got to bring a book. You got to do something else other than electronics to stimulate your child's brain. Electronics have become the new babysitter.
Yeah, we've gotten to the point now where, you know, we have stuff going on while I'm studying and we're at the house, and, you know, with a 3-year-old, they're pretty active, always bugging mom, but we kind of made the idea and the agreement that we're just not going to give her iPads. We're not going to give her little phones. We're not going to turn the TV on. She's just going to have to, you know, we'll play with her, or she's going to have to entertain herself, you know. So.
Self-entertainment. I walk by my kids' rooms all the time and say, turn off the electronic. I don't care what you're watching, what you're doing. You just turn it off.
I do think it's a good conversation, though, for, you know, Congress to prevent, you know, children under the age of 16 from getting on there like other countries have done. Because there's not a lot of good parents, and I think it's making society worse. So.
I totally agree. I think it's creating a whole lot of mental health issues, and it happens in adults all the time.
Yeah.
I talk to many adults who are stuck with that phone in their face, and you can't have a conversation with them because they're still stuck on that phone.
Well, go to any restaurant and look around at how many couples are sitting there, both of them scrolling when they're supposed to be out on a date. You know, it's and my wife and I have at times done that, and typically one of us will say, hey, let's put our phones down. Oh, yeah, absolutely. But it takes initiative because it is addictive. I mean, anybody who's gotten up from the toilet with their leg falling asleep can attest to it being addictive.
Hey, I make my living on social media, so it's kind of a weird place for me to be.
Hey, look, I'm running late for my break here. I apologize, but thank you for your call, man. Always appreciate hearing from you.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics. With 18 providers and 3 locations, someone can see you today.
Need office supplies, janitorial supplies, or office furniture, either new or pre-owned? Then look no further than DTW Office Supply, with wholesale prices on a large selection of top quality products, all with the personalized hometown service that you deserve. We're proud to serve the entire state of Louisiana with daily deliveries right to your door. Visit us today at 1219 MacArthur Drive or online at dtwofficesupply.com. That's DTW Office Supply, your trusted partner for all of your office needs. Quality, value, service.
When buying a home or property, you have a choice for your real estate closing attorney. Fine Legal Services, LLC is a full-service title company offering residential and commercial real estate closings, title insurance, and more. Call your Alexandria, Louisiana attorneys, George Fine and Jeremy Cedars, at 318-767-2226 to learn more, or visit fine-lawyers.com. Let your realtor and lender know that you choose Fine Legal Services.
Sometimes things go wrong when you're flying, and if they do, here's what you need to know. From America's #1 travel radio show, this is your Arm World Travel Minute. I'm Rudy Maxa. Your Bible for passenger rights is from the Department of Transportation's website. Just go to transportation.gov/airconsumer. There, you'll learn what you're entitled to in case of things like flight delays and cancellations, getting bumped, or lost, damage, and delayed luggage. There's also a clear summary page called Fly Rights. Again, that's transportation.gov/airconsumer. Now, that covers domestic flights. If you're flying to and from Europe, you have even more generous rights thanks to the International Civil Aviation Organization. That website is too complicated to give out on the radio. Just search for International Civil Aviation Organization. And thirdly, each airline's website has what's called a condition of carriage that spells out what the airline is obligated to do in the case of something going awry. Unfortunately, not all gate agents know all the rules, so it's a good idea that you know how to quickly research your rights. More travel info at armworldtravel.com.
If you'd like to take part in the show today, call the BOM Bank Talk line at 442-8255. That's 442-TALK. And remember, if you're looking to purchase or refinance your home, call Christina Bagwell at the BOM Bank Mortgage Department at 448-2430.
It's Talkback, 970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO.
Welcome back to Talkback. It's Wednesday, the 18th day of February. Do you ever say the R in February?
Nope.
me either unless I'm trying to make a point or fill time. 318-442-8255. Had some great phone calls today. Really appreciate hearing from the callers and the different perspectives. I was just chatting with you on break. I saw the headline about Shia LaBeouf being arrested down in Mardi Gras. Got into a fight, continued to fight. Apparently had imbibed a little bit too much. And then WAFB, one of the stations down there, had video of him back on Bourbon Street just hours after he's released from jail. So I hope things go well for him. Doesn't look good. Not a good look for sure. We probably don't want to spend a whole lot of time going down the AI rabbit hole, but I think people would need to pay more and more attention. And I don't plan to go down that way, but there's a documentary coming out March 27th, I believe, is when it's coming out.
I think so.
Called AI Doc. You sent me a preview of that, and
it's like AI Doc, why I became a apocalyptist or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Or how I became an apocalyptist.
But it's going to be in theaters on the 27th of March, so keep that on your agenda. We went to the movies yesterday, me and my wife and my kids. We went and saw The Goat, little animated movie. Hadn't even heard of it.
Haven't heard of it.
Great character building movie. I don't even know who put it out, but Jelly Roll played the voice of one of the antagonists in there, and I didn't know that. My kids know everything because they're on social media all the time. But it's the story of an underdog. They're animated anthropomorphic animals, human tendencies. And so there's this, it's not basketball, it's called Roar Ball, ROAR ball, which is basically basketball on steroids. Every arena has these crazy things that happen in them. And there's this former kind of washed up, not completely washed up champ. And she can't really win because she didn't have a good supporting cast around her. And there's this young goat who always wanted to play, but he was small, and everybody else are rhinoceroses and giraffes, huge animals. And so he has this dream of playing, and you understand the arc of any movie like that, overcoming difficult odds, and then there's the crisis 2/3 the way through, and the meltdown, and then the comeback and the victory and the win. But all the good stories in there for kids to try hard, to work hard, because the kid worked his tail off. Maybe not the best expression for a goat, but so really enjoy that. We're talking about movies, and when I do go, I like to go on Tuesdays because the pricing is right, and discount on the popcorn, and so it can be an expensive outing, but it was not too bad. 4 of us went and enjoyed ourselves last night.
That's good.
Yeah.
I wonder if we could play the trailer.
I don't.
Of the AI thing.
Oh, okay. I'll tell you what, let me get it queued up because we got a break here in about 2 minutes. So
Academy Award-winning director, and he's trying to sell a movie too, but he talked to AI experts about the implications of artificial intelligence and the future of human beings. And then he even got some of the AI CEOs like Sam Altman on there to talk about it. And essentially it begins with, hey, I'm having a kid. And I was like, I'm worried about the future of human beings, and I want to talk to the experts. And the experts were saying it's not a matter of collapse, because collapse means it's going to happen over time. It's an immediate ending of human life as we know it. And then he goes, well, I didn't want to be doom and gloom only, so I brought in the AI CEOs.
Yeah.
Do you have it pulled up?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, here we go. Let's get the right button pushed and get it.
If this technology goes wrong, it can go quite wrong.
Your fear of AI is the collapse of humanity.
Well, not the collapse, the abrupt extermination. There's a difference.
So I started making this movie because my wife is 6 months pregnant. It is now a terrible time to have a kid.
I mean, let's be honest. I know people who work on AI risk who don't expect their children to make it to high school.
How does AI understand pretty much everything?
It's surprisingly straightforward.
Intelligence is about recognizing patterns.
Patterns? Patterns.
Patterns.
If you have learned those patterns, you can generate new information. AI is moving so fast.
It's being deployed prematurely. There's so much potential for things to go wrong.
Why can't we just stop? All these companies are in a race
To get AI that's vastly more intelligent than people within this decade. China, North Korea, Russia.
Whoever wins is essentially the controller of humankind.
We need to take a threat from AI as seriously as global nuclear war.
It feels like I have to find these CEOs and get them in the movie.
Great.
I want to ask you to promise me that this is going to go well.
That is impossible. Okay. Am I hopeful? Yes. Am I confident that it'll go right? Absolutely not.
AI is the thing that can solve climate change.
We could cure most diseases.
What if it's expanding what is humanly possible?
This is the most extraordinary time ever. The only time more exciting than today is tomorrow.
I already love you.
I think if this technology goes wrong, it can go quite wrong.
By using AI, we're about to move off of the Earth into the cosmos.
If we can be the most mature version of ourselves, there might be a way through this.
This is the last mistake we'll ever get to make.
How I became an apocalypticalist, I think is how the sub goes. And the interviews with the actual AI company CEOs, we'll talk more about that right after this.
This is a Bloomberg Money Minute. U.S. stock futures are up despite ongoing concerns over artificial intelligence, which drove some sharp swings in equity markets yesterday. Gold and silver are also rebounding this morning. Uber says it plans to spend more than $100 million to build more autonomous vehicle charging stations in the U.S. It's focusing on cities like Dallas, San Francisco, and Los Angeles, where it also plans to launch more robo-taxi services and compete with Waymo. Uber says owning charging stations will improve efficiency, lower costs, and keep vehicles on the road longer. YouTube says it's fixed the problem and restored service to more than 300,000 users. The problem prevented videos from appearing across the YouTube app, YouTube Music, and YouTube Kids. And Warner Brothers Discovery is briefly reopening takeover talks with Paramount to hear the company's best and final offer. The studio still has an agreement with Netflix, but Netflix has granted Warner a waiver to open discussions with Paramount for 7 days. It now has till February 23rd to negotiate a possible deal. Monica Ricks, Bloomberg Radio.
For 1 year only, the event you've celebrated year after year is getting a new name and a new date. Because Fat Tuesday falls on Valentine's weekend, Taste of Mardi Gras becomes Taste of Central Louisiana. Happening Saturday, March 7th at the Randolph Riverfront Center. Enjoy the same great food, drinks, live music, and Mardi Gras spirit you've always loved, just on a new night and with a new name. For a full list of events, visit AlexandriaPinevilleLA.com and plan your trip today at ExploreLouisiana.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. After my husband died, the last thing I wanted to think about was money. Ethos made it affordable to get life insurance. Signing up was fast and 100% online. I knew that I could pay our mortgage and have food in the fridge. I could focus on my kids. No one ever tells you how much you're going to depend on that policy. I am so grateful we had coverage.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. That's ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Well, good morning. We'll start out with cloudy skies on our Wednesday, but we'll see things gradually become mostly sunny. 78 for the afternoon high. Going to be a windy day. Winds out of the southwest. They'll gust as high as 20. Tonight, mostly cloudy down to 62 for the overnight low. And then for Thursday, looks like another mostly cloudy day. 81 for the afternoon high and another very windy day. From the Cenla Broadcasting Weather Center, I'm Dave Grayson.
AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talk Back.
The word of the day, apocalyptimist. Sounds like a newly discovered dinosaur.
I think that's how a lot of people feel. You know, it could kill us all, but it also could make us a lot better. And I think that's almost the attitude from what we can understand and gather from the information we're getting from the companies and CEOs, is that the upside is so great, we think it's worth the risk of complete destruction to make sure that happens, possibly. But it looks like the ultimate destruction or ended up with a worse society in life is a high chance of that. But I think they believe the upside or the money is worth it. So I think that's kind of what we're dealing with.
Well, I want to be an optimist about it. I really do. I choose to, more often than not, feel and look for the half glass full side of things. Some of them are silly. Some of them are, you know, like I asked ChatGPT the other day to tell me what glasses would look better on me. I think I told you that, didn't I? And he essentially came up with a recommendation very similar to what I got, so it made me feel good. But simple things like that, and those are silly things. But some of the longer stuff, like working with my dad has a document that's over 600 pages long. That's an accumulation of all of his Facebook messages, posts that he has done over the many years, devotionals he's written, family stories. And so we were working with one of the AI models to separate out what is devotional, what is family, to create separate documents. And, you know, if you're dealing with a 600-page document, it would take you forever to do that type of work. And AI did it pretty quickly once we had the prompts right. It struggled a couple times because we didn't have the right prompts.
Yeah.
But, you know, letting it do some of the heavy grunt work, then he can go back in and edit. And, you know, what I want to have is have this document. He's written all these, he calls them grandpa stories, and all these stories about his childhood growing up in the 40s and, you know, his ancestors, stories that, you know, firsthand knowledge he has. You know, my dad actually lived in a house without electricity, studied by kerosene, drew water from the well, and, you know, used an outhouse as a child. That was his life. That was his reality. And today he's using AI, and he loves it. I think that's incredibly adaptive of him, but how many people get to talk to somebody who studied by kerosene, drew water from a well, went to an outhouse as
and
part
now
of a
talking
daily
to a
routine?
computer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they live that reality. And, you know, he cross-cut wood with his father with a cross-cut saw to make firewood and sell wood. You know, his father operated teams of oxen to plow fields with his dad. And, you know, he has those experiences in 1 century, less than one, he's 85 years old, in less than 1 century. My goodness, you can't help but be optimistic. But yes, I understand the concerns as well.
I tend to lean more on the optimistic side, but we don't really know what we're talking about, right? Just there's so much happening that we don't know of. You could see the obvious potentials for danger and more harm. However, I mean, the human race hasn't had a very stellar track record, as far as we know. Of course, there's been great things, but I think there's a lot of things that we could improve upon, and I think AI could help be an answer to that, maybe solve some problems that we're having, better practices on what we do, and even from like the disease aspect, the medical aspect, or solving some other problems, budgeting, government. I think there's a lot of potential there, for sure.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be watching it closely. We're certainly going to be paying attention to it, and I'm sure you as our listeners are too. At the same time, we don't want to become the AI show. That's all we talk about. I think it's going to permeate much of our lives, but we also have other things to enjoy, upcoming events. You know, you just heard the ad from the Convention and Visitors Bureau. It's one of the things I love about Central Louisiana. There's so many good things to do. Someone on one of the posts that one of the candidates had written, you know, I think may have been Chris Camp, had written, hey, what are your ideas for Central Louisiana? And he had like 150 responses. So great engagement. So I was reading through it last night, and several of the people were like, you know, we need more things to do. We need more things to do. And one person wrote, I mean, a massively long paragraph of all these amazing things that Central Louisiana has. And I need to mark this because, you know, things that you just don't think about on a regular basis were in there. Wild Safari, Gone Wild Safari, and Treehouse, and Museum, and so many. I mean, they listed there had to have been 50 things in there that you don't think of on a regular basis, but we do have phenomenal stuff. So, again, I'm the half-full kind of guy, but I think...
What do people... I'm curious, is like, what do people want? You always hear the vague, we need more to do, we need this, we need that. What is it?
In that particular genre, or that particular discussion, it seemed to be more things for our teenagers to do. Things that
what do teenagers do?
I don't know, but they were talking more like putt-putt, it was like another bowling alley, which we already have one that my kids enjoy quite a bit. I'm trying to think of some other things they were saying. They wanted safe places for kids to go on dates. I don't know what those are.
What does that mean?
That's what I'm saying.
See, it's just like, what are you talking about?
Well, the one example
plenty
I came
of safe
to was
places to go on a date. You're a parent of teenagers.
Yeah.
What's a safe place to go on a date?
Well, like
I can name a million in Pineville.
Yeah, I will say, because they talked about waybacks and they talked about, how many places have. Look at Palmetto. What a great place. They're having music contests all the time.
You have the largest indoor arcade in Louisiana.
That's right.
It's
fantastic.
reasonable.
It's reasonable. Have you tried their lunch buffet?
Yeah, I went there when they opened it. Yeah, it was good.
All right, I'm late for my break. We'll take it and come back with more. Don't forget to call us, 318-442-8255, the BLM Talk Line. We'd love to hear from you.
KSYL.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Got a big day ahead of you? Then it's best to fuel up with some of Cenla's best at Bricato's Restaurant. Walk right in and just smell that home-style cooking. Place your order, take a seat, and do breakfast right till 9:30 this morning. Get fresh biscuits, eggs any way you like them, melt-in-your-mouth pancakes, grits, hash browns, sausage, bacon, even wraps and sandwiches. And don't forget their fresh brewed coffee. Bricato's Restaurant, 28 West, right across from the Coliseum. Your breakfast is waiting for you.
The Greenhouse presents Adopting a Pet. Have you been looking for love in all the wrong places? Then relax. The easiest way to find that special four-legged friend you've been longing for is online at adoptapet.com. Adoptapet.com is North America's largest nonprofit pet adoption website, serving over 17,000 animal shelters, humane societies, and pet rescue groups. Just type in your zip code and be amazed. Adopt a Pet at adoptapet.com.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYL. Now back to Talk Back.
All right, welcome back to Talk Back. Steve and I have wonderful conversations off air and sometimes get so engaged that I'd push the button late. Glad to be back with you, though, and really enjoy the opportunity to fill in for Al this week. It's such a delight to get to hear your calls and then to have your comments coming to us during the week. As we bump into you. Thanks so much, man, when you guys just let us know that you appreciate the show. I cannot tell you how many times they'll tell me they listen. I'm like, well, do you call in? No, I don't want to call in. Come, please, call in. We don't bite, number one. And we're going to treat you with respect and give you a chance to share some thoughts. You can disguise your voice. It's okay. Yeah, just talk like a little bit lower.
Use AI. And to go back what we talked about, like I'm not, trying to be combative or anything, but I know I'm around a lot of people who plan these events, and I hear about them and I cover them. But every weekend I feel like I could do something if I wanted to go out and do something in Central Louisiana. Plenty of date places for me and my wife. Plenty of things for the kids to do. You always want more. We could always do more. We could always improve. It's just, I think a little bit, this will ruffle some feathers. I think a little bit's exaggerated and just complaining to complain.
Yeah.
My humble opinion.
So some of the things that people are asking this particular post, I'm reading through the comments now, are things that are in the area. They're just not in Pineville. Axe throwing. Well, have you been to the axe throwing place? I've been. We took my wife. We had a wonderful time.
We almost went last weekend. We almost did.
But that's one of those things in my mind, I will do once a year, maybe twice a year. Right?
Maybe.
It's not in every weekend. So if you have a business like that, is there room for 2 of those in a community our size? I don't know. The other one was bowling. I think the bowling alley, outside of tournament play, I've never seen them full. Never seen be able to have to turn you away. So that's a little tough. I've heard a lot of people want a theater in Pineville. The one in Alexandria is struggling. I don't see there being a market.
It's a 10-minute drive.
Yeah. So
I don't get it.
Chick-fil-A in Pineville. Everybody wants Chick-fil-A. That was commented many times.
Hey, Pineville's done a lot of good things even since I've came back. The 4 years I was gone. It's gotten significantly better, more to do. I think you could live in Pineville and have almost everything you need. And then you're seeing, young entrepreneurs in the downtown area just completely revamping that. Hemingway House looks fantastic. You have the arcade and then My Secret Shelves, the bookstore there. It's like this really cool, trendy type area. That Military Highway, Main Street area. It's fantastic.
I need to check out that new bookstore you did the feature on next to. And of course, Hidden Grounds changed their name to Caffeinated.
Caffeinated.
And I'll be there later this morning. I have a regular meeting in that shopping center, and so we'll be popping in there this morning.
And Putt Putt, I mean, I don't even know if I'm supposed to say it. I can't remember. Sometimes people tell me stuff and don't say it or say it, but I think Putt Putt's on the way.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And
it will be.
I think you'll be pleased. So I'm not going to say where or who, but that's on the way. Because I can't remember if it was secret or not.
We'll keep it that way and let them. Because I don't know either, but I think we'll let them make.
I don't think so, but I think there's a chance it could be. So I think there's lots to do. Sometimes you just have to get out there and do a little research.
I'm trying to find the one post or the comment that someone made, because it was a very long comment, and I'm not finding it now as I scroll through here. But I really appreciated this individual taking the time to write all the amazing things, and I think we need more of that.
I think people just, no matter where they live, they complain. They gripe, and they B-word, right? Like, it's just constantly. Like, when I lived in tourist destination of the South, Panama City Beach, people there complained about, we don't have this.
No way.
There's too many tourists at this place. And Shreveport's 15 times as big as we are, and they have a lot more to do, and people still complain about how Shreveport sucks.
Is it? Yeah, maybe that's just the nature of humanity, right?
You got me on the whole thing here, so I know I don't need anybody's vote, so I can say it, right? So
I don't either.
Yeah, you're free now.
I actually had someone ask me recently, now that you're not running for re-election, is there anything that you want to do that you wouldn't do before? I'm like, well, no. I mean, honestly feel like I've accomplished. I look at District 5 23 years ago and today, and I think it's doing very well. I think the city, compared to 25 years ago, is on an exceptionally good trajectory. I won't say it's everything, never say everything's accomplished, but the trajectory is healthy and good and solid. So I'm super, and I think it's one of the reasons you have so many people interested in running, because they're joining success. Yeah. They see a good direction and they want to be a part of that. So.
And I hear this a lot. Like, I always hear, like, the kids and teenagers things to do.
Yeah.
The one is going to take private business and people to take a risk. But I'm just curious what that is. Like, specifically tell me what you would like to see.
Yeah. Well, one of the comments was they wanted things that didn't cost anything, because everything way back.
That's not how the world works.
No, it's not. No, you're right.
You're not going to keep a private business open with you going there for free. That's ridiculous. And so, I don't know, when I was a teenager, I don't really know if there was like a specific thing we looked for. We would drive and go to the movies. We would hang out in Walmart, because there's we would go outside and play. We would play, occasional video games. Like, teenagers are just wanderlust anyways. Like, what do you want them to do?
I warned my kids yesterday. They were telling me they were at Walmart bored and were walking up.
They just don't want to be around their parents.
I think so.
That's all it is.
But they were just trying to fill some time, and my son walked up to this older guy older guy, and he had his phone out like he's doing an interview, and he said, "Hello, sir. I can't remember if he said, what's the best thing that's happened today?" Or he asked him some question, and he said the guy just looked at him up and down, just stared at him like, didn't say anything for a while, and my son said it got really awkward, and finally the guy said, "You can leave now." And then my son, I'm going to be in so much trouble. He pulled some the giant rolls of toilet paper out, and then got up in there and built a fort. I said, "You're going to get kicked out of Walmart."
That's just kids, man.
But they weren't doing anything damaging at all. They were just, they were entertaining themselves, right? They were, okay. You guys, I know I'm going to get some pushback on this. I'm sorry.
I don't know.
But did we not do crazy, dumb stuff? I mean, you found a way, and it wasn't hurting anybody.
Yes.
They interviewed a couple of people that actually interviewed with them and talked to them, and they just had fun.
Yep.
They weren't disturbing anything. They weren't breaking anything. They weren't disruptive. So I think we sometimes overcompensate, and we want to provide too much when buy your 2-year-old a toy that's a little bit complicated, and let them have the box and see which
Give them a box,
see which one they're going to spend more time with.
I'm just generally confused. Like, there's plenty for my daughter to do. I can name Lighthouse Playground that they have over on Coliseum. They have the Children's Exploration Oasis. They have the zoo, which is amazing for a town like Alexandria.
We forget how amazing it is. We
Multiple
really do.
parks. We go to those all the time. There's just so much to do. I mean, of course, you'd like to see a little bit more, right? But it's always just vague. We need more to do.
Well, I do, and there were some solid things in here that were suggested. Many of the things that were suggested are in the works. For example, this was talked about a lot: the traffic situation at Taco Bell on Military Highway, Circle K, Taco Bell, Goodwill, Walgreens. That is a horrible intersection. But the state's been working on a roundabout for many years, and I believe it'll go into construction in 2027.
Well, traffic's a whole different issue. Maybe we could do better there, but I mean, I think there's some stuff on Coliseum people will be pleased with. I don't think I can say it yet, but there's some more recreational things coming there. You might see that big building being built by the bank. I don't know if you've been that way. Some sport type stuff. You have DBAT now in Alexandria. Yeah. That's an awesome place to go if you want to hang out. That'd be perfect for teenagers to go to.
Oh, here we go.
Or even young adults.
I finally found it, but I got to take the break. When I come back, I'm going to share with you the comment from Roni Frio-Williams. Great comment that she made. Bring that to you right after this.
Talkback is sponsored by The Clinics.
This is Dr. Jonathan Hunter with The Clinics. We provide primary, family, and chronic care along with gastroenterology, podiatry, with on-site lab and x-ray services. I'm pleased to welcome family physician Dr. Noah Miller to our team. We are currently accepting new patients, and same-day appointments are available. If you're admitted into the hospital, our doctors will see you there as well. Most insurance and Medicare are accepted. The Clinics on North Bolton, 445-9823, and online at theclinics.us.
Some smiles sound like this, while others sound this way. If you'd like to improve the way your smile sounds, the folks over at Today's Dental in Pineville can deliver. Over the years, hundreds of Central Louisiana patients have visited Today's Dental and then left completely satisfied. Their dental implant procedure is amazingly simple, low anxiety, and completely affordable. Today's technology makes your beautiful smile easier than ever. The staff at Today's Dental go out of their way to make you comfortable with calming in-office IV sedation that's administered by a highly skilled certified nurse anesthetist. And their multiple finance options make the entire procedure truly affordable. Want your smile to sound better? Give Today's Dental a call at 318-448-4540. It's a general dental facility on Highway 28 East in Pineville, owned by Dr. Jonas Goche. That's 318-448-4540.
970 AM, 104.9 FM, KSYO. Now back to Talkback.
All right, welcome back to Talkback, final segment. Let me read this comment to you. Roni Frio, I hope I'm saying her name right, Williams. She said, some of these are age-specific, but many are great for teens. Take one night a month and pick an existing local business to try. There are so many things in Cenla that kids can do. I think the issue, she said, are people are either unaware or don't like the location. So she starts naming. Here we go. Skateville, Key to Escape Room, Waybacks, Going Wild Safari, the Zoo, museums, axe throwing, library events, Adventure Cenla, Play Cenla, Jake's Place, Light of Mine Playhouse, Gun on the Go, Children's Exploration Oasis, Treehouse Children's Museum, Alexandria Airsoft Adventures, Chuck E. Cheese, Four Seasons Bowling, park stuff like pickleball, soccer, baseball, etc. And she says, are these just the things I know about? What a great list of things. I lost track. I think it's 15, 18 things that she listed off the top of her head. And a couple of those, like, I didn't know about Alexandria Airsoft Adventures.
I didn't either.
Sounds great.
I mean, like, even
I
back
didn't know
in the
about
50s.
Children's Exploration Oasis. You did.
Yeah. What about Happy Days? They just sat around and drank milkshakes and started trouble back in the 50s, right?
Monday, Happy Days.
Yeah.
By the way, today is National Thumb Day.
Yeah.
And where would we be without the Fonz saying, hey! With the
National what day?
Thumb Day.
It's weird because I was reading a whole thing about how thumbs are making us I think it was a book. I don't know. It was a whole thing about thumbs.
Well, they're the most important digit, they say. The opposable thumb.
Made us who we are.
Absolutely. It's how we can hold an axe.
That's right.
I am sad. I've just finished season 2 of House of David on Prime, and I have to wait for season 3.
I haven't heard of this.
Dude, you got to watch House of David.
Is it Prime or Angel Studio?
Well, it's Prime. Season 1 is Prime. Season 2 is Wonder Project, W-O-N-D-E-R.
It's not Angel Studios?
No.
And
I don't know if there's any
like
connection.
David in the Bible?
Yes.
Oh, interesting.
But huge, what's the word they talk about? Liberties that they take, artistic liberties are taken. I'll tell you this, the whole thing starts, so I won't be revealing anything. The whole thing starts, the whole 2 series episodes, or the whole series begins with David charging at Goliath with his stone in his sling, swinging that sling, and Goliath is throwing spears at him, misses twice, and the third time hits him. And you think, that's not in the Bible. No, it's not in the Bible. That's how it starts. And then you have the flashbacks to the early days. And it was a really engaging show. We watched it, my wife and my daughter, most evenings or every other evening, whatever. I'm sad that I'm through with season 2. I can't wait for season 3.
Man. I'm going to have to check it out.
It is enjoyable.
It's a lot for me to sit down and watch anything now, but
yeah.
I'll try it. Speaking of violence and true stories or based on true stories, I'm in Kiwanis Alexandria Club, and we had Michael Wynn, and he gave us the opportunity to pick from a number of stories that he had for him to do a talk on. And everyone picked the sandbar duel between Vidalia and Natchez.
Jimmy
oh, it's insane.
Yeah,
it's
right?
insane. They're a completely different world. You act like the world's bad now. Back then, they were just getting pissed off at each other and killing each other. It's insane. Look up the sandbar duel with Jim Bowie and a bunch of Alexandrians, because he did live here in Rapides Parish for a little while.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. Died 9 years later after this. Should have died in that sandbar duel. It's amazing he survived that. So, interesting story. I would tell you it, but I don't know how, because it's so long and insane.
In the minute and a half we have left, it really is. And is not Michael Wynn a local treasure?
Yeah, he does a good job.
I looked on. He's got like 20-something books out on Amazon.
No.
I want to read every one of them. I mean, they're engaging.
He's working on the J.B. Lafargue one now.
Yes. And that
prominent
is a
figure.
huge story. I did not know. I only recently started looking into it at his, and he mentioned it in a passing comment. Amazing story. Simply amazing.
And his name lives on here. We have Lafargue Elementary and Avoyles.
Nobody knows anything about him.
J.B. Lafargue Special Education Center. Right. So it's a lot of good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Very prominent political figure in Louisiana. Apparently best friends with President McKinley.
Absolutely.
And he lived and died here.
Crazy story. We also have the only person pardoned twice by a president. This is one of the stories he told.
Oh, really?
Talk about that. All right, we got to go. That wraps up today's show. Tomorrow, Thursday, will be another open line. I do believe we're going to have Lieutenant Governor Billy Nungesser on the show tomorrow, and I will get confirmation later today, because I've been contacted by his scheduler, and they're just kind of waiting on the final details, but I think he'll be on tomorrow morning. And it'll be your calls and Stephen and me talking about all kinds of good stuff, promoting what you want to promote. Thanks for joining us every day, every morning on Talkback.